Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Okay, today we have a 2006, it's a Ford Expedition. The problem we have is that the customer gets into the vehicle and tries to close the back glass on the back door itself. The door itself locks okay, but the glass won't. When they close the glass down, it hits the latch assembly and it doesn't lock. The customer thought it was locking, but when you touch it and you pull it, it pops right back open again. So let's get back there. I'm going to show you exactly what to do step by step so we can correct this problem and have another satisfied customer. Alright, don't forget, subscribe to my channel. You like what I'm doing? Give me that big thumbs up. Alright, let's get back there and let's get started, and we'll wrap this job up and get it out the door. I do want to point out that the parts for the latch assembly itself, they are a dealer item. You can't get them aftermarket. They don't make this one aftermarket, so we have no choice but to get it from the dealer. I did look at this the other day, and I know that the lock itself is no good. So let me take you back there. I'm going to show you how to diagnose this and how to go about repairing it and have another satisfied customer. All right, don't forget. Okay, I just want to mention about that lock there. Don't overthink it and think that there's something electrically wrong and that there's an electrical problem with the release. If you're pressing that button and you can hear the lock clicking but it's not opening, then you know it's going to be inside the lock. Don't freak out, just get yourself a new lock and you should be good. Alright, thanks again. See you on the next one. When you close it, it just doesn't lock. As you can see, for some reason it's not locking. After I looked at it a little more closely, I realized that the lock itself right here is this piece right here has got to go into this here to lock it into position. What's happening is this piece here is stuck in the, it's stuck, it doesn't move back up. Even when you grab the key and you hit the unlock, it doesn't unlock all the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this backing here, and we're going to change the lock assembly in the back corner right over. This hole, it's inside here at the whole assembly. So let's grab some tools and let's get started. Okay, hope you can see okay. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to take these screws out right here. These are plastic screws in here, and if you try to turn these, the whole thing spins. But if you just hold the outside with your finger or with the screwdriver, you can unscrew it and take them out, because these plastic screws don't work very well. If you put a little bit of pressure on it to keep it from stripping out the screwdriver portion, the base of it spins. Right, and after you get it partially out, you pull the pin out like this and just relocate that to the side for now, because you're going to need to reuse it. Same thing on this one here. Just turn it and hold the base with your other finger to keep it from spinning. And if it does spin, you can hold it with a screwdriver to keep it from turning, because you will need to use these over again. Don't push on it at all. Just turn it nice and easy, and you'll see it actually, it pulls out. Right? Once you get that out, then you can pull the pin right out like that. And we're just going to move this back to gain access to it. We're not going to take the whole thing apart. We're just going to pull it back a little bit, and that exposes the lock assembly underneath here. I'll show you. I think this is the lock assembly in here. Let's get a light so you can see in there. And that's basically what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to unplug this electrical plug here. You push that little pin up like this, and you pull it out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take out these two screws here, the Torx bits. Take those out, and we're going to replace the lock assembly with a new one. So let me do that, and we're going to continue. I don't know if I'm going to do this. They're really not tight because the lock itself is actually made of plastic. Oh, and just so you know, I did get the new lock already from the dealer, because they're made of plastic and they really don't last very long. I've had a couple of issues, not with the back lock here, but with the other locks on the doors. All right. I'll just take those screws and loosen them up. said, don't lose that screw because you're going to need to put it back in, put it back together. Don't drop it because you'll be taking the door panel apart. Put it in there. Now we'll take our screw out, and then we're going to take our lock out. And that's it. That's the lock assembly. Something had to go wrong inside here, which caused it not to open up. So now we're going to take our replacement. Now we're just going to put it back in the same way that we took it out. Put this bolt in here. Screw it in by hand. Before you tighten it up, we're going to put the other one in also down the bottom. Snug them in. I'm going to turn them in by hand first, and then we'll tighten it the rest of the way with the ratchet. And we're just going to snug it in. Doesn't have to be real tight, remember, it's just plastic. Just snug it in there. Same thing on the other one. Okay. Basically just tightened up those two bolts. Now we're going to plug our electrical connector back in, and you'll hear it snap back in place where it belongs. Oops. Okay, locked in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this back together and put those plastic pins back in. Remember, you're dealing with plastic, so don't force it and break anything. Right off the top like that. And you put your push pins back in, and then you push the pin back inside, and it locks it in place. Same thing here, back like that, push it in, and that's it. It's all set. Now, if we did our job correctly, we should be able to close this, and it should open, lock perfectly. And it pops up. Let's try it. That's it. All right. All right. So if you run into that problem, then you know that the lock itself is actually gone bad inside here. I'm going to open this up. It just popped up. Something was binding up inside there. I mean, it's a pretty lousy design when you think about it. It's a plastic lock and a plastic mechanism, and there's a metal striker that's actually going into here, so it kind of wears it down, pretty quickly. So, all right. So if you run into that problem, that's how you go about changing that rear lock assembly. All right, that's it. You're all set. All right. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.